Good morning, viewers. Welcome back to the Breakfast News. Before we look at the news in detail, let's take a look at the headlines first. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma reaffirms government's firm opposition to uranium mining, announces resolution to formally ban the activity in Meghalaya. Meghalaya Chief Minister reviews Aadhaar enrollment, health programs and renewable energy projects to strengthen welfare delivery and sustainable development. Hills Farmers Union gives away 6 tons of cabbages in Shillong, demands government action to address farm price crisis. Centre launches next phase of Udan to connect 120 new destinations and expand regional air connectivity across India. "135th Indian Oil Durand Cup Trophy Tour arrives in Guwahati ahead of tournament kick-off, building excitement across the northeast. The news in detail. First, the local news. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma has reaffirmed the Meghalaya government's clear and consistent opposition to uranium mining in the state. He announced that the government will bring a resolution to formally oppose and ban uranium mining in Meghalaya, reiterating that it has never approved such activities. The proposed resolution aims to address long-standing public concerns over the environmental and social impacts of uranium mining, while ending years of speculation surrounding the issue.
Recently, our Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, was in Shillong for a program. And during the short discussion with the press had asked him about the situation or the stand of the Government of India in regards to uranium mining in the state of Meghalaya. Dr. Jitendra Singh had clarified that Government of India has not made any decision on that matter, and the Government of India is still examining, but no decision has been taken. This was not clearly mentioned in the press, but his statement is very clear that Government of India has not decided on any step forward. Number two, I have made it very, very clear number of times that the state government, especially our NPP-led government, is against the uranium mining, and that we have made it clear that we will oppose any form of attempt to have uranium mining in the state, as we are aware about the different implications that it could have on our people, on our environment, on different aspects of our forest, and the overall impact that it can have on the people and the future of our state. And hence there are too many risks that are involved, and hence we are very firm, as I said once again, that we will oppose the uranium mining in our state, and we will work towards passing a resolution in that aspect.
Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma yesterday reviewed the progress of Aadhaar enrollment and eKYC seeding across key departments, stressing the need to ensure uninterrupted delivery of welfare schemes. The government is considering engaging common service centres to speed up the remaining eKYC process through awareness drives and enrolment camps. Sangma also reviewed the health sector with Health Minister Wailat Mikishela, focusing on maternal health, nutrition and expanding institutional deliveries. In a separate meeting with the Power Department, he assessed the progress of the CM Solar Mission, PM Kusum and PM Surya Ghar, with emphasis on expanding affordable solar energy and strengthening the financial sustainability of MEECL.
The third review that we had today was of the health department, and in this review we have seen the NFHS report of 2025, and the different parameters of the health indicators in the state were reflected in that report, which is of course a national report for different states that comes out. And again, I'm very happy to see that the overall performance of Meghalaya has improved drastically in almost all the parameters in a positive way, which indicates that a lot of our efforts are showing results, especially, as I said, in the health sector. At the same time, we reviewed the different infrastructural works and investments going on in the health sector, whether it's at the district hospital level, PHCs, CHCs or sub-centers. And again, I'm happy to inform that the works are going on at a very good pace. In the power department, we had a review of some of the central schemes like PM Kusum as well as the PM Surya program. In both these programs, as you are aware, that we have to work closely with different agencies as well as different suppliers and implement and support the different beneficiaries.
Mr. Conrad K. Sangma yesterday reviewed the progress of the Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Department with a focus on improving livestock health, productivity and farmer livelihoods. The review covered online livestock health certificates, vaccination programs, government farms and livestock production initiatives in piggery and poultry. Discussions also centered on establishing a College of Veterinary Science at Kirdem Kulai, upgrading infrastructure under central schemes and strengthening veterinary services through new animal checkposts and modern livestock facilities.
Was the Veterinary and Animal Husbandry Department, and we looked at the overall functioning of the department. At the same time, we worked towards creating specific targets and goals, especially when it comes to the overall demand and supply and measures on how to reduce the gap between the demand and supply. And second, to ensure that the overall livelihood opportunities that are there for our farmers, how we could enhance it, how we could give opportunities to entrepreneurs to come into this sector and create value. So all of these aspects were discussed, and how government should intervene in it. All the details were discussed in this aspect. At the same time, we also looked into the support structure and system required for it, whether it's the manpower shortage that's there in the department, or the supply of feed, or the vaccination program, and important infrastructures like the veterinary hospital. All of these aspects were discussed in detail, and in the coming weeks we will again further review the plan of action and how we will move forward in those aspects.
Imphal yesterday inaugurated a 2-day national workshop on cow management and innovation at its College of Postgraduate Studies in Agricultural Science, Umyam. Researchers, policy makers and livestock experts discuss indigenous cattle conservation, sustainable livestock management, natural farming and scientific innovation. Speakers highlighted the need to integrate traditional knowledge with modern research, promote cow-based farming practices, conserve indigenous breeds and strengthen the rural economy through sustainable agriculture and livestock development.
विशेष रूप से जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट की गाय है उसका संरक्षण कैसे हो, उसको गोपालक पालने का मन कैसे बने और वह अपने व्यक्तिगत जीवन में आचरण में कैसे आए, ऐसे विषयों पर हम सब यहाँ 2 दिन चर्चा करने वाले हैं। और ये जो इसका एक मंथन होगा, मंथन के आधार पर व्यवहारिक जीवन में इस कार्यशाला में गाय के बारे में रिसर्च करने वाले भी हैं और गाय के भक्त भी हैं और गाय का पालन करने वाले, और इसलिए तीनों प्रकार के लोग होने की वजह से जो कम्युनिकेशन गैपिंग रहती है वो भी इसी कार्यशाला में उसका भी समाधान होगा। इसलिए यह कार्यशाला अपने नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लिए पूरे देश के बड़े लोग यहाँ पर आए हैं, सब मिल करके इस नॉर्थ ईस्ट में गाय का संरक्षण कैसे हो, संवर्धन कैसे हो और इसके गुणात्मकता का विकास कैसे हो, इसके बारे में हम सब यहाँ चिंतन करेंगे। और यह चिंतन अपने इस नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लिए एक परिणामकारी और भविष्य में एक गो आधारित जीवन जीने की दिशा में एक अच्छा कार्यक्रम में हम सब आए हैं। और यह कार्यक्रम अपने नॉर्थ ईस्ट में चेंजिंग का एक समय तय करेगा। तो आज के दिन हम सब दिन भर यहाँ चर्चा करेंगे, कई विषयों पर चर्चा।
A 21-year-old Mizo youth accused of sexually assaulting multiple minor girls in Shillong has surrendered before Lanyamkhrap police station yesterday after remaining absconding for about a week. The accused, Jonathan L. Pakau, was immediately arrested in connection with a case registered under sections 3, 4, 11 and 12 of the POCSO Act and section 64 of BNS. Police had earlier issued a lookout notice and informed a special team to trace him after the allegations surfaced, drawing widespread public condemnation. The Hills Farmers Union distributed around 6 tons of cabbages free of cost in Shillong yesterday to protest the prolonged collapse in cabbage prices. Farmers said they have been forced to sell their produce at just 2 rupees per kilogram, far below the estimated production costs. The union has urged the government to monitor agricultural prices, work out a minimum input price and find a long-term solution to protect farmers from recurring price crashes.
Union menen ngilawan kendu ya UDC jongka East Kasil district ro namar kani ka jinge ni sotu ba dei bandan manu ba monitor tengi smotu ba ka napo DC office ki judan yakini ki monitoring officer ki bachet monitor ki price kum ngiyo I kini ki Russian ki bawan nadu khaw nadu ka sini company syarat nang ta udai nang ta ushana kini baro khat ki basam kadadan da ka price te lada ka government but ki department ki work out ya kani ka price ngangit scam bakin tibai ke input price kum bangala batay mene input price we kubi ban mi chi kilo kajing pulut kan long ko ba shipau khat we tingka te menta lada ngila ban monitor kata ngijukran ro nakapor sa kapori kani ka minimum support price hawat ni sutu ba ka minimum support price kadeka central subject but at least minimum input price ka government but ki department ki dibandan katno ki pulut ha uway usitanrai kubi bo unpenmi ha ka sikilo tekini ki baro nga sngoba kamdesu ka barang thamai ngila juya kran ya kani nakapor sa kapor hamtam ha katu kapor ka bangilong ka Meghalaya Farmers Parliament ki jingkli jong kinongrap ki babun ba te hendrei ngi sngoba kani kan penkindit benriu bangi de ban walk out lada ya ka budget la ban sna tengas ngo umdan jingi ini di kamberit baget ban monitor ki price jong ki mar jong kinongrap.
Following repeated public complaints, the KSU Nongstoin Circle inspected the newly blacktopped township road at Lat Waitang, where it found potholes and alleged poor quality construction. The union later submitted a memorandum to West Khasi Hills Deputy Commissioner Hema Nayak, seeking immediate repairs and action against the contractor if necessary. The Deputy Commissioner assured the delegation that the matter would be examined and appropriate steps taken.
Taksi nak lihat kami kaki KSU Nongstoin Circle nilai yang mana yang kenduk Deputy Commissioner hak bedai bat jing siang kan ke surok nadunan nampak selu Baitang bedai nang ni nak kapasang nang ni nak prestation anduk hantai jan office jamba di biar tu kajing kenduk jongi madam Deputy Commissioner kalau ka bangi kum keseng ni lap ni syam kajing siang bat kajing kan ka ai black topping kan ke surok nadunang ni syam baka kalong ka thurmur kata ya ka ba napaleng jong ko doktor syam la pentri ya ka ni ka surok hakunti ka wadai but hakabat ka surok tang shibnai ndrei kilabun kita parpai but kita jingpei yang ka jingpei tri yang surok hoi tak ini sini kita belalai nilai on nek kendu i astan engineer yang kapli di road but ila on ba i kontraktor ila pentri kan surok rei la sisam untuk dan rei nak liang tungi kumusai nin om aila ya kum kini dijaj
Khasi Students Union East Jaintia Hills District closed branches of the Meghalaya Rural Bank across the district, alleging that the bank failed to observe the official Bed and Clum holiday. The action followed an order issued by the Deputy Commissioner of East Jaintia Hills declaring July 16th a public holiday for government offices, educational institutions and banks in observance of the annual Senrat Tuber Bed and Clum festival. The annual Senrat Bed and Clum festival entered its third day with the ceremonial procession of the sacred Knong Blai from Mirjai to Siem Ajnar, also known as Tuber, the revered sacred pool. Accompanied by traditional music, chants and rituals, the procession drew hundreds of devotees and spectators, highlighting the rich cultural and spiritual heritage of the 4-day Panar festival, which celebrates faith, unity and prosperity. Now, the regional news. The Indian Meteorological Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall over East and Northeast India, East Uttar Pradesh and the Western Himalayan region over the next 7 days, with extremely heavy rainfall likely at isolated places in Odisha today. Let's take a look at the national news. Union Civil Aviation Minister Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu yesterday announced the next phase of the Udan scheme aimed at connecting 120 new destinations and enabling 4 crore passengers to travel over the next decade. The revamped scheme expands financial supports for airlines, strengthens regional airport infrastructure and targets the development of 100 more airports and 200 heliports. The government says the initiative will boost regional connectivity, create jobs, support indigenous aircraft manufacturing and further the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Today from the ministry we have conducted a workshop for the Udan scheme, which is going to be extended for the next 10 years. This has been launched by our Honorable Prime Minister on the 4th of July in Jodhpur, and there has been a lot of excitement in the civil aviation industry in the country on how we are going to implement it for the next 10 years. Because the last 10 years we have laid a strong foundation for civil aviation. You know how we have expanded the airport network through the Udan scheme. We have created 90 aerodromes, including water aerodromes and heliports, and then we have serviced more than 669 routes, 1.66 crore people of the country, and most of them who come from lower income, neo-middle class and middle class, they have been able to utilize the Udan scheme. So this has been the success for the last 10 years, but we have seen that there could be scope for improvement. That is where we have brought in some changes. And the government of India has given an outlay of 29,000 crores for the next 10 years for this, which is quite huge. And we feel that the whole civil aviation industry and the people can take benefit of this. and create a strong ecosystem of civil aviation across each and every part of the country. The aspiration of the country today is that every single place wants to be connected to every single place, every single destination. So to cater for that, we have brought in some changes in the present Udan scheme. Earlier, for an airport to be unserved or underserved, we used to calculate it to have less than 7 flights a week. But now we have taken the number up and we are saying that it has to be 14 or less. So this is going to help provide the viability gap funding for an airport for more number of routes.
Now the news in sports. The trophy tour of the 135th Indian Oil Durand Cup reached Guwahati on Thursday, marking the countdown to Asia's oldest football tournament. Addressing the event, Assam Sports Minister Biswajit Daimari stressed the need to strengthen grassroots football, while Major General Dinesh Kumar Singh highlighted the tournament's role in nurturing young talent. The iconic Durand Cup, President Cup and Simla Trophy will tour key landmarks across Guwahati before the tournament kicks off on July 25th, with Shillong among the 5 host cities.
Now you see in Guwahati, there will be six games and local teams are here from Northeast Football Club, then the Caribbean Long Football Club, Bodoland Football Club, and from Jammu Kashmir also they are participating here. Totally 6 games will be here, and we are only host and organizer is our armed forces. Now you see, first there will be no any charge in the entry, but entry pass will be there. Entry pass will be issued to every people who are interested. They can collect their entry pass in the stadium also, and other places also will decide. नहीं वो गुवाहाटी के एक ही स्टेडियम में चलते रहेगा जो क्या है 6 से जो खेल होगा ये गुवाहाटी के इंदिरा गांधी मेमोरियल स्टेडियम में होगा, शुरू सजाई में ही होगा। तो 1 तारीख से 13 तारीख को होगा अगस्त के, अल्टरनेट डे में वो चलेगा। तो इधर उधर जाने का कोई ज़रूरत नहीं, और सेमीफाइनल आपका शिलोंग में भी होने का बाद है, तो तब तो सेमीफाइनल को उधर भी जाके दे सकता।
Now the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report in Tura. Minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 84% and rainfall 5.2 millimeters. Moving on to Shillong, minimum temperature 19 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 26 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 92% and rainfall 1.5 millimeter. Meanwhile, in Jowai, minimum temperature 19 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 25 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 92% and rainfall 3.2 millimeters. The forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jowai says heavy rainfall with thunderstorm likely to occur at many places. Before we wrap this up, let's take a look at today's headlines once again. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma reaffirms government's firm opposition to uranium mining, announces resolution to formally ban the activity in Meghalaya. Meghalaya Chief Minister reviews Aadhaar enrollment, health programs and renewable energy projects to strengthen welfare delivery and sustainable development. Hills Farmers Union gives away 6 tons of cabbages in Shillong, demands government action to address farm price crisis. Centre launches next phase of Udan to connect 120 new destinations and expand regional air connectivity across India. A 135th Indian Oil Durand Cup Trophy Tour arrives in Guwahati ahead of tournament kick-off, building excitement across the northeast. Thank you for watching the Breakfast News. Stay tuned for the Khasi News Bulletin coming up next. You can also follow us on our social media platforms to get in touch with the latest news. This is Daphne Kharkongor, and before we end today's news, a quick reminder that heavy rain is expected across the state. So carry your umbrellas, take care and be alert.